Sup, welcome to another video. Today we're gonna talk about a thing that, I want to maybe add a little bit more context to because I think just making a post on both Reddit and Twitter, as I did, on timelines is not something, it's just like few words. So I want to add more context why I do believe that timelines is an issue, why I'm very unhappy that they decided to buff it, and what are my fixes, because if you have some issues, I think you should be also proposing some fix and not be just, saying that it's bullshit and it should not exist. So, let's look at it. If you don't know why I'm talking about timelines, it's because they just got reverted back to 1 mana. Um, but even though they got nerfed 9 months ago to 2 mana. Let's see their reasoning about why they made it 2 mana. With the introduction of Weapon Masters, timelines have split off into a meta-defining group of decks. While we think the play pattern of this card is interesting, we want you to have to spend a little more tempo in order to open up an alternative rarity of crazy value. I definitely do agree with this, and we can see it now again. As well, we also even got new Weapon Master in the trade that's absolutely amazing, and it's very good with these timelines. Then you can argue, sure, but why are you complaining about timelines? Why are you complaining? Why not complaining about, for example, Draven? Well, the thing was that Draven, since the nerf, was basically unplayable. He was like really not seen any play. But the issue that I have most of the timelines is that people were playing them at 2 mana. People brought timelines to Worlds Qualifier even though they costed 2 mana. And that's my issue. Draven was barely playable, even I would say, and most of the people would just say Draven was unplayable at 3-2. And also, Draven was at 3-2 for, year and a half, not for just 9 months as the timelines were. Another argument that you might have is why do I complain about timelines now and why I didn't complain about them 9 months ago? The reasoning is kind of clear. I just found out deck list like 9 months ago, and on this list it's kind of clear that this list can fight and win the games even without timelines. It's not that dependent. Sure, your deck gets much better if you found them, but you're not that all in them. You still have the Breathing Eyes, that's the wing gun. You have Orn wing gun. You have, a lot of more wing guns. If you look at the list that's going around now, especially the champion list one, this list just doesn't work without them. This deck is full all in on the timelines, and if they don't find it, this deck does not function. Sure, you can sometimes maybe steal some games with the Baron, but it doesn't much work. The same goes with Jixvi. Sometimes you can steal with like Vi and Overwhelm, but doesn't happen much. And the last on Trundle went kind of more all in, but honestly, I still don't have that much issue with it because I think this deck, especially because of Earn, because Earn is honestly kind of a good champion, can still win without timelines, and it's not that dependent as the other two versions are on the timelines. Now you might be like, why you didn't complain about Fish Summer in the past, but you are not complaining about timelines? They are just the best decks. Just play them. My issue is that timelines are not the best deck. They are best deck if you draw timelines early. And then the game just becomes a mini game. Do you have timelines early? If yes, you have 70% deck. I think the 90% that I made in tweet, I know it was maybe too much, but 70% I think we can kind of agree on. And if you don't have them, the decks become 30% deck, kind of garbage deck that doesn't do much. And that's my issue as a competitor. I value consistency because I like consistent decks because I want to perform even though things don't go badly for me. And the disparity of win rate when you have one specific card and when you don't have one specific card is something that we never had in the past. Well, we had it kinda, but not in the level how timelines are. The disparity was never that big as it is now with the timelines. And I think this meme from Drisoth just kind of says it all. Like, how do you win when you don't draw timelines? But how do you win if I do? And that's like my biggest issue that I have with timelines. But honestly, these are not only issues that I have with timelines. I have also issue if you're a timeline pro. If you're playing timelines, you kind of want to have 3 of copies in your deck because your deck kind of rely on it. But then my issue with the timelines is that like, what does second and like third copy do? it's usually just a discard photo because the card does nothing then. What is my proposed fix to timelines? Well, I'm gonna use my friend Drisoth change again because I think this one is pretty smart, and that's making timelines last for only for 3 rounds. It's not only fixing the issue that I'm having as a timelines pro when I have like multiple copies doesn't make any sense, but it's also fixing the issue that you can have some counterplay as well as a timelines pro. It would be much more interactive because you can be like, okay, I'm gonna play timelines turn 6. Now I'm gonna play my Revenant, next turn Combat Cook, and like turn 8, I'm gonna play my Pillow. So I get the most value out of it. As well, it's making the deck much more interesting in my opinion. And I can definitely see maybe some buffs to the timelines, then maybe make it, I don't know, 0 mana or keeping it 1 mana. I guess that's something that can depend on. Also, it doesn't have to be 3 rounds, it can be more turns. But I think this change is so cool, and it's making the deck much more interesting, and not just making, it's turn 1, I'm gonna play my timelines, opponent cannot interact with me at all. What is your opinion on how to fix timelines issue? Is there something different? Did I miss something as well? Or am I just crying about something that, I just should throw them at one? Leave your opinion in the comments. And thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next video. Goodbye.